A Wuhan doctor who posted information about the new coronavirus on social media that was shared by the late whistleblower Li Wenliang has broken her silence, saying she was muzzled by Chinese authorities for raising the alarm without their permission at the start of the outbreak. The Onion should write an article about Chinese authorities punishing the coronavirus for spreading without their permission. She's a fucking hero. What do we do when free speech becomes a matter of global safety? Are we ever gonna stand up to China? https://scienceintegrity.digest.com/2020/03/11/DRAIFN the Wuhan whistle/ https://scienceintegrity.digest.com/2020/03/11/DRAIFN the Wuhan whistle/ one of the full translation versions of the original article. For whatever reasons you guys should read it. The scene described by Dr. A.I.Fen could happen in Italy, France, Britain, the U.S., and Germany. To the surprise of no one. Why is China and US trying so hard to suppress something we know for sure is happening? Which brings me to my next question, how is the outbreak going in Russia? No one listened to the alarm anyways. So the number 80,000 in China is likely still a lie. Deleted. Man, I'm sad she suicide next week. Rip, you beautiful soul. Yeah, everybody pretty much knows by now that China was attempting to censor the information. Two things I don't understand about this. 1. Why even attempt to silence people? The information will most definitely be leaked eventually and you'll just look like the bad guy. 2. Why feel the need to silence people and censor information if the virus was in fact, something of natural origin that took y'all by surprise? 2a, if your attempt was to prevent panic and economic collapse, you still look like the asshole putting money over the health of your population. 2b, the authoritarian measures and intimidation tactics to silence your own medical professionals who were actively trying to save the country, will make it seem like you guys are also the culprit and/or creator of this virus. Cover UPS are a clear indication of something to hide. 3. It would have been much more beneficial being open and honest with your citizens and with the rest of the world. Honesty actually produces less panic, more cooperation among government authorities and citizens, and also promotes help from other nations. China fucked up, and now the US is on the same track. Honesty and human life is not our top priority, the stocks and economy are. People are dying from this virus and the government's top priority is to bail out the airline industry, which has been brutally price gouging citizens with a complete monopoly of the market for over 2 decades. Fuck the airlines. Give the money to states fighting the virus. In other words, the leaders are responsible for the deaths of so many. They should be in jail. So keep things quiet so we don't upset the stock market? So they don't find out our virus lab failed? So they don't find out we have yet another rogue scientist? All of the above. I'm really confused as to why people are acting like this is something uniquely horrible to China when literally a week ago we found out Trump's administration did the same exact thing. China, man, what the fuck? How about we let people get infected with a virus but then imprison people for making them aware about it? That's some North Korea level brainwashing. A bit curious about the coronavirus. What is it from exactly? Is it just a mutation of something already around or completely new? Also, how hard would it be to tell if it was man-made? Last part's just my tinfoil hat question, lol. Basically, if you decide to be a whistleblower, tell everyone quickly, loudly, and fully, Snowden-like. In China, one suffers consequences either way, whether you post once quietly or tell all boldly. If you truly want to help people, tell it all and tell it fast. China is fucked up, man. This is affecting the entire world, people are dying and afraid, and all the Chinese government cares about its obedient control over their people and their country's image. Fuck China, man, they are literally the worst. I mean the country and government, not the people. Yet China withholds and suppresses freedom of information, but the only thing the doctors could have done here is to cause awareness and alarm. All the average person is going to do is either nothing because it seems like an insignificant problem before the outbreak happens, or panic and run away, spreading the disease even further than it would have. The whole point of a quarantine is to get people to stay in one place. Giving a warning, it's rather counterintuitive. I am Chinese, and this interview to Dr. Ai Fen has been shared like crazy in Chinese social media. We blame our government for playing down the severity of the disease in the early stages, or maybe it wouldn't become this serious. There are some misleading comments here though. China actually didn't cover up the disease. As the article said, Dr. Ai Fen reported on December 30th. Wuhan officials then immediately reported the situation to public and WHO on December 31st. What they did wrong was playing down the severity instead of covering up. They playing down is in a Chinese way though, by silencing those who try to warn others about the severity. EFF, that dictatorship they call government. IQ. If you say this is a battle, the emergency department is the front line. At the time the situation was that the treatment units behind the lines were already saturated, basically they couldn't accept even one patient. The ICU also firmly declined to accept more patients, saying their current patients are free of the coronavirus infection. If they accept any cases, their existing patients would become infected. New patients continued to overflow the emergency room, and the path behind the lines was not clear. It all piled up in the emergency room. When patients would come to be seen, for anything it was easily several hours of waiting. We could not get off of work. The distinguishment between outpatient and urgent care was no longer maintained. The lobby was filled with people, the resuscitation room and infusion room everywhere was filled with patients. There was a patient whose family member came, saying they need a bed. My father is the car and cannot hang in there any longer, because at the time the underground parking was already closed down, the car was blocked and could not be driven in. I had no choice, brought some people and equipment and rushed to the car. One look, the individual was already deceased. You ask me what that feels like. It is really hard, truly hard to bear. This person had died in their car. They didn't even have the chance to exit the vehicle. There was an older individual, their partner had passed at the other hospital, her son, daughter were both infected. When we were injecting her, the caretaker was this woman's son-in-law. I noticed her illness was very severe, contacted respiratory department to take her in as inpatient. The son-in-law was evidently a very cultured and mannered person, came to me to say thank you Dr. etc. My heart felt tight, said go quickly, it's not a time to hesitate. In the end she passed away as soon as she was transferred. Although this thank you took only a few seconds, it also caused a few seconds of hesitation. This one sentence of thank you weighs on me very heavily. There were 8 doctors in the WeChat group that Li Wenliang shared to who were arrested. I wonder whether this doctor was one of them. The timeline is interesting, as it says she shared the test result on the 30th of December, but on the 30th, Wuhan City Health Committee shared an announcement on Weibo stating there was a new form of pneumonia in town. So the suggestion that Wuhan's health committee missed an opportunity to tell citizens about the new disease, considering they'd posted about it publicly the same day, is odd. Also, the genetic sequencing of the virus was completed on the 27th of December, so it's not like things were being particularly covered up at that point in time, as it had already been sent off to Beijing for testing and sequencing. Moreover, 2 weeks prior to that, China's state broadcaster had done a report on a viral disease outbreak in Wuhan. Perhaps the dates are a bit off in the news report. It would make more sense if this had happened around the 20th of December, when there was still so much confusion about what this was, as well as panic amongst local city officials, who no doubt did not react as they should have done at first.